ये मौका ऐसा है जहाँ पे आपको अपना ओपिनियन आप मतदान के जरिए आप एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हो।
आज का दिन है जब रिमोट कंट्रोल हमारे हाथ में आता है। सो मैं यही कहूँगा, सारे मुंबई वालों को कहूँगा, आके वोट जरूर करें।
मैं समझता हूँ कि मेरे अस्तित्व की निशानी है।
कोई भी अपने घर पे नहीं रुके, सभी लोग लोकतंत्र के इस उत्सव में सम्मिलित हो।
जो काम हमने किया है वो लोगों के सामने है, पुणेकर जनता वो देख रही है, उसका अनुभव भी कर रहे हैं।
मुंबई महानगर पालिका का चुनाव विश्व के लेवल का चुनाव है। यहाँ पर ये देश की आर्थिक राजधानी है, करोड़ों रुपए का इसका बजट है।
Welcome everyone, you're watching the BMC election special on Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Mumbai has voted in one of the most crucial civic elections in recent years. The Brihanmumbai Municipal Corporation, Asia's richest civic body, witnessed a high-stakes contest as polling completes in 227 wards. This contest is primarily between the BJP-led Mahayuti alliance and the United Thakre Front, with both sides aiming to control India's wealthiest civic body, one that governs Mumbai's infrastructure, housing and key public services. But this election was a mystery, with many alliances taking new shapes, some going solo. While in the statewide civic polls, the picture became even more confusing. For the second phase of these civic polls across Maharashtra, the 6 parties in the state, BJP, 2 Shiv Senas, 2 NCPs and the Congress, have allied in different combinations to fight each other across those 29 municipal corporations. But we focus on Mumbai and BMC. Tacit understandings on the ground, unholy alliances on paper and a high-pitched local versus international narrative dominated these elections. Allegations from MNS chief Raj Thakre regarding the use of markers instead of indelible ink also garnered headlines. Now, votes have been cast. All eyes will be on the counting tomorrow across 23 locations. But before that, we bring to you the poll of polls exclusively here on CNN News 18. But why the focus on BMC so much? The stakes are quite high on all fronts. Let me break down the political stakes for you first up. For the BJP, simple, the Mahayuti alliance, it is an attempt to end the dominance of the Thakres in the BMC, strip them of their last, bastion and establish a BJP triple engine sarkar. The BJP is very gung-ho. BJP in center, BJP in state, a BJP stamp in BMC is what they're really looking forward to. They say that will allow them to unleash their developmental model. For the Thakre cousins, it's an attempt to reclaim that Shiv Sena legacy, a test of the Marathi sentiment and the fight to stay relevant in the very politics of Maharashtra. If they don't do well here, it could well be curtains for the Thakre's future. What is at stake for Mumbai and Mumbaikars? Let's not forget that it's not just about the politicians. It's the annual budget of nearly 75,000 crore rupees that's on stake. A return to local accountability, remember, after 9 long years. These elections are taking place after 9 years. And the future of the city itself, its many infrastructure projects, all depends on what happens in these elections. It isn't just about, Mumbai. The BMC elections matter nationally as well. Let's break down why there has been such a big focus nationally on these elections. Well, it's the country's financial capital and the election results will drive India's economy. In fact, Mumbai contributes about 6 to 7% of the total GDP. Furthermore, civic issues like bad roads, floods can trigger economic risks for a city like Mumbai. Some other cities in India are already witnessing the blowback after infrastructure issues. It's also a battle for that Marathi pride versus Mumbai identity. Which way will Mumbai choose? A more cosmopolitan approach or a Marathi identity stamp? Nationally, the future of alliances hangs in balance, depending on how parties like the Sena UBT and the NCP, both factions, the Sharad Pawar faction and the Ajit Pawar faction, perform. This election is also that test of accountability that I talked about, with the BMC being India's richest civic body. Its budget demands greater accountability nationally, which is why all eyes are on these elections. Mumbai's governance has the potential to set an urban model, and India needs one desperately. Our metro cities are struggling to set a global benchmark. Can Mumbai get us there? And with Mumbai being a climate frontline city, floods, resilience, mangroves, reclamation, all are decided at the civic level. So therefore, the ecological concerns will be shaped post these results. What matters to Mumbaikars? Let's also focus on that, because politicians have spoken. What are the issues on which the Mumbaikars want to vote on? Let's bring you those concerns. First and foremost is pothole-free roads. Roads concretization across Mumbai has been underway for the past 2 years, yet despite repeated assurances, potholes and poor road quality continue to pose a challenge for commuters. Everywhere I went in Mumbai, roads were dug up, mobility was restricted, causing jams too. So this was a constant refrain from locals. The BJP Shiv Sena alliance has pledged to deliver a pothole-free Mumbai, with Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde promising the city will be free of all potholes within the next year. This includes, of course, all the dug-up areas in Mumbai as well. Second big concern for Mumbai is flooding and waterlogging. Monsoon flooding remains Mumbai's most persistent civic challenge. Every year, low-lying areas are affected by severe waterlogging due to inadequate drainage capacity, delayed desilting, and stalled infrastructure upgrades, disrupting daily commuting as well as business activities. And as expected, all parties have made very tall promises in this regard. Now, a new concern that has surfaced in Mumbai this time around, that everyone was talking about when I went there, was air quality and pollution. Rising pollution from construction, traffic, industrial zones has made the air quality a growing concern. Citizens are increasingly demanding stricter enforcement and long-term solutions. So, BJP, Shiv Sena, RPI, Mahayuti combined their manifesto promises 17,000 crore environment and climate action plan, while their rivals Thakere's combine has promised Mumbai construction environment management plan and enhanced protection of green spaces. Next is the big issue of infrastructure and public transport. The city has been crying for greater infra for decades, and some of it has now started to be delivered, started to become very visible. But overcrowded local trains, congested roads, delayed infrastructure projects highlight the strain on Mumbai's public transport systems. Voters are seeking faster execution and better conditions, coordination in these large-scale civic projects. Many feel that the current government may have a slight advantage in this image that they can deliver. And finally, footpaths and open spaces. These also continue to be a matter of great concern. People want breathable spaces in the city. Let's open this up to our guests joining us. Remember, we will be getting you poll numbers, exit poll numbers very soon. But before that, Abhijit Majumdar, Akhil Swami, Sanjay Kumar, psephologist, Savio Rodriguez, and Sanjeev Srivastav, senior journalist, all joining us. Sanjay Kumar, I want to understand from you, we don't really have a template as far as these BMC elections are concerned. Would that be fair to say? Equations have changed so much. There is no way to predict these elections. Is this a psephologist's nightmare?
Yes, it is a psephologist's nightmare. Why? First, if you look at the alliances, so all parties are against each other and all parties are in alliance with each other. So it becomes very difficult how the votes of support base of one party will get shifted to the other, or how it's going to contribute to the other, because two parties may be in alliance in one municipal corporation, but in other place, in another district, they may be fighting against each other. So it creates a confusion among the workers, it creates a confusion among the voters. So will the vote get transferred? But I think the bigger nightmare would be that, the size of the constituencies are very small, much smaller than the assembly constituency, and assembly constituency is much smaller compared to the Lok Sabha. So the margin of victory and defeat are very small, and sometimes you might get the vote share right, but since the seats, maybe a large number of seats may be decided by small margins, you may get it off, you may be off the mark when it comes to seats. It is happening quite often these days in the Lok Sabha election. It happened in 2024 Lok Sabha election. It also happened in large number of state assembly election which we have witnessed in the last couple of years. So that's why BMC election or the municipal election are much more tricky to predict compared to an assembly election.
Right. In fact, let me go to the ground in Mumbai. My colleague Aman is also joining us from there. Aman, which way is the sea breeze flowing this evening in Mumbai?
Well, see, Shivani, it is very difficult to predict an election, and I won't hazard a guess till the results come out tomorrow. But if I tell you what are the issues on the ground and which are the big factors in this election, the number one factor, I think, is the Thackeray brothers uniting. Whoever I've spoken to in Mumbai, people, especially in the constituencies where the Marathi community is in larger numbers, even in South Mumbai, people do have this emotive and people do have a connection. People speak fondly and this nostalgia about the Thackeray brothers coming together. It's also a last throw of the dice by the Thackeray brothers in a sense that they have faced serious reverses in the 1.5 years back when we had the assembly elections here. So they need to perform here. Can they win the election? I am not too sure. But if they perform well and be a strong opposition with about 70 to 80 seats in the 227-member BMC, that could be a strong comeback by the Thackerays. Will it happen? We'll have to wait till tomorrow. I think the number two issue is the Marathi Manus issue. You know, in the last election, we have seen that in fact the majority of Marathi Manus had voted for the NDA, and that is why Eknath Shinde emerged as this big hero. Devendra Fadnavis called himself the son of the soil, and that is why you saw the big voting for the Mahayuti in the assembly election. But this time, the things are different because the two Thackeray brothers are together. They are appealing to the Marathi Manus to unite and saying, "Ek hai to safe hai." They are hoping that the Marathi Manus shifts course towards them. Will it happen? In what proportion it will happen? Maybe that will determine the election. Shivani, there are 87 seats here in Mumbai where the MNS UBT together is fighting against the Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde. Who wins those 87 seats, I think, is the make or break thing in this election, because that will also prove who really has the control over the Marathi vote. That all said, Shivani, I think the people on the ground are more bothered about the civic issues. They complain, as you were saying, about potholed roads, traffic jams. Ease of living is a big issue. People want to get from their home to their office in the shortest possible time, not spend 2 hours, 3 hours daily in traffic or in congested local trains. They want parties to solve these issues. But sadly, I feel no party is coming forward to speak about the ease of a living of a common Mumbaikar in these BMC elections. Mr. Fadnavis has spoken about, the infrastructure that has come, but I think people are looking for more. And because people are not being promised this ease of living in no uncertain terms, I think that explains also the voter apathy. Till 3:30 p.m., only 41% Mumbaikars have voted in these all-important high-stakes BMC elections.
Yes, and we're waiting for those updated numbers because the last 6 elections from 1992 onwards, only in 2017, the last election, did the voting percentage cross 50%. Otherwise, for the previous 5 elections, it was below 50. But we're waiting for those updated numbers. Abhijit Majumdar is also with us. Abhijit, the interesting question here is, with so much that has changed in the Maharashtrian political landscape, if you look at these elections, not just in BMC, but the other, 20-odd municipal elections in Maharashtra, one thing is emerging, that the biggest rival or the prime rival or the pole is BJP now. All alliances are centering around either defeating the BJP or coming together with the BJP.
Right. It has very clearly established itself as the number one party in Maharashtra, especially after that spectacular assembly results. There's very little doubt that BJP calls the shots. But Mumbai, as Aman just said before me, right now, it will be very interesting to see how the Thackeray brothers coming together, how that will pan out. And, MVA will have the Muslim vote, remember. So, is it going to be a MM vote that sort of gives MVA an edge. Or
but there is an AIMIM also fighting, not on many seats, but in the Muslim dominant
also
seats.
Congress is fighting.
Congress is fighting alone. They are actually fighting for the same Muslim or the minority vote.
Also, yes. So in multi-cornered contest, anybody could win. So they, we can't say that there is advantage so and so. But and also, even though the two brothers have united, both of them have come so far away from the ideology of the OG Thackeray, of Bal Thackeray, and Bal Thackeray is missing from the posters. He is, his ideology is not being pushed by MVA and the two brothers. Even
well,
the
they've
two
tried. One would say they've tried, but maybe too belatedly. Savio, would it be too late for the Thackeray brothers to suddenly now come out and roar like the Shiv Sena tigers of the old, the Balasaheb, legacy? Because this is the fight for that. But will they succeed in that?
Well, I don't think they will, because not many people in Mumbai or in the rest of Maharashtra see either Uddhav or Raj Thackeray as a legacy carrier of Balasaheb Thackeray. Raj had it initially, but he's made some serious flaws in decisions and has not continued in that manner, which he could have taken forward the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. But I think what you're just seeing is the curiosity that the people in Mumbai are having as far as both these brothers coming together and trying to revive a legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. But unfortunately, as rightly said by the colleague before, that they didn't even put Balasaheb on the posters. So what really is the legacy? Because on their own, they don't have a legacy. Okay. On their own, people aren't going to believe them. It is Balasaheb Thackeray's vision and his very strong identification of Hindutva was what brought people together. And that is why the Shiv Sena held the BMC for such a long time. Now that they are with the BJP, now that Eknath Shinde is the leader of the Shiv Sena, more than Uddhav and Raj Thackeray, I think it's going to be very difficult for the Thackeray brothers, no matter what legacy they want to carry forward, to actually establish themselves as far as Mumbai is concerned. Because the way I see it...
In that sense, it doesn't just matter for Mumbai, Sanjeev Srivastava, it also matters nationally. Do you think if the Thackeray brothers or Uddhav Thackeray were to be diminished post these results, if NCP, Sharad Pawar, even the Ajit Pawar faction, which is contesting against the BJP or independently in these elections, if they were to be diminished, this would have national consequences politically?
I think the national script, Shivani, is more or less already decided with the string of assembly results which we have had last year from Delhi to Bihar and Maharashtra earlier and Haryana earlier. So yes, definitely, it will be another occasion for chest thumping and really saying that now we are in complete control of the political narrative if the NDA wins this election. But even if there is a reverse, it won't send a very big message of any kind of reversal. Because at the end of the day, it's a very local election. It is, and like Aman so rightly pointed out, the constituencies are so small and the contests can be, when it will be multi-cornered, there can be so many factors playing out. But watching from a distance, I think to talk about Balasaheb Thackeray today is about as much relevant as to talk about Vajpayee and Advani in BJP.
Right.
See,
we've got our first numbers in. Just stay with me. The viewers will be very interested to know the first numbers are now with us, and this is the JVC exit poll. It is giving the vote share currently, but the vote share numbers very much in favor of the BJP plus, which is the BJP, Shinde Sena and another party, 44%. The Thackeray brothers and combined 35%, Congress at 14%, fighting along with the BVA and others, which includes a lot of other parties like Ajit Pawar, the one faction of the NCP, AIMIM and others. It's just 7%. Now 44% for the BJP combined, Abhijit, this is going to, of course, a 9-point difference in percentage of the vote share is going to mean possibly a repeat of the assembly elections.
Yes, in a first past the post scenario, 44% vote share is very good. I mean, it would, if that holds on the actual counting day, then you know, we should see a fairly emphatic win.
Akhil Swami, your take on the first exit poll numbers that are coming in. We're going to see a little bit of the denial of the exit poll numbers and that is expected on the eve of results. But this is not looking very good either for the Congress combined or for the Shiv Sena. Their vote percentage is not very bad. It's a pretty healthy 35%. The Marathi vote, mind you, in Maharashtra is about 36-37%. But they're not going to be able to be the leaders with this kind of a vote share.
See, this exit poll shows that BJP is losing BMC elections. And very clearly because, see, 44%, and you have to note that Congress and Bahujan Aghadi did not contest 36 seats. So, percentage doesn't show the right picture. But if an exit polls, you know, as how they happen, and I have not heard about that pollster. So, 5% BJP always is given ahead of it. But in my opinion, this exit poll shows that BJP is losing this election.
Well, in the recent exit polls in Bihar, one would argue that wasn't the case. But I do want to go across to Sanjay ji as well. Sanjay Kumar, how do you read these numbers? This is the first set of poll that has come to us. We will be bringing our viewers more polls that are being released and a mega poll of poll in minutes to come. But JVC exit poll giving BJP plus a 44% vote share. How does this translate on ground?
You have already mentioned that the gap between number 1 and number 2, which is to say BJP alliance and the Shiv Sena alliance, the two Thackeray brothers, the gap is almost 9% as it is being projected by one of the exit polls. Remember what has happened in Bihar recently. There was a 9% gap between the NDA and the India alliance, and we know how massive sweep NDA was managed to register in Bihar assembly election. If this is the gap which is going to come, even if it is 1 or 2% less gap, then I think there's no doubt, there's no question about BJP alliance not winning election. The question will be how many seats, how big, whether it is going to be
Seat numbers are also with us. Just bear with me. We've got the first seat projections. This is the JVC exit poll and the seat projections are also with us. 114 is the halfway mark, 227 total wards in the BMC. 138 is the number that has been given to the BJP Shinde combined. Only 59 for the Shiv Sena Thackeray brothers. Congress 23, others 7. It seems like a sweep. There's no other way to, describe this, because the last time these elections were held in 2017, yes, equations were different. BJP and combined Sena was fighting together. They were at 80 odd each, 84 and 82. So if we judge by that number, what the undivided Shiv Sena got in 2017 was 84. This time around, Uddhav Thackeray plus MNS plus NCP SP is getting 59 only. Savio, how do you look at these numbers? All right, let's go across to Sanjeev Srivastava then. Sanjeev, can you hear me? 138 for the BJP plus, only 59 for the Thackeray brothers. Would this mean a death knell for their politics in Maharashtra, in Mumbai especially?
In the manner the script is unfolding, like I was mentioning all through last year, these kind of results will not surprise me. Also, these results look more likely because the manner in which the opposition right now stands politically dispirited in the eye of the voter. Because nobody wants to really cast their vote in favor of somebody who they think will lose. So BJP being on a roll since the 2024 election, Lok Sabha elections, which was their last big reverse, I think a lot of voters may also be going in for a party which they think is likely to win. Uddhav Thackeray or Raj Thackeray haven't covered themselves with glory these last few years, and the fact that the Congress is out of that opposition alliance also hurts them. So I would agree with Sanjay Kumar that this result looks likely. We will still know the final numbers and final result only tomorrow. But the exit poll does not come as a surprise.
No, I want to take this to Sanjay Kumar to understand, in these BMC elections, is this very much you know, what we have begun to call presidential elections? Does ward level issue, corporator, candidate matter? Or are people going to go by party allegiances and alliances, or the statewide image of a certain alliance? For example, currently the combined that is in government, would that have the edge if they if they are already in power in the state level, or would it be still ward wise considerations? Sanjay Kumar?
Sir.
All right. Don't think we have Sanjay Kumar with us, but I want to go across to Abhijit with this. Abhijit, what do you think? Does the current government already has a starting edge? Given that most elections have now become about double engine, triple engine, BJP has been touting a triple engine model for these BMC elections, and they have become very much about personalities, not so much about who their local candidate is anymore.
No, it does play a big role, and as Sanjeev just said, the opposition has actually discredited itself by, first of all losing, the issues that they have raised does not seem to be resonating with the voters at all. And so the larger national trend will obviously have a bearing in the local elections as well. But to say that a civic election will be completely devoid of local issues, I don't think that's going to happen.
Aman is also there. In fact, Aman has also been getting a sense on ground. So, Aman, would it be largely local considerations, ward by ward considerations? Who is the candidate that people know more? Who is more accessible, approachable? Do these things matter more? And if that is the case, even on that count, our first exit poll, the JVC exit poll, is suggesting the BJP is well past the others.
Well, Shivani, I think the corporator is your first point of contact when it comes to getting a job done in the government. That is what the people reach out to you even before your MLA, and an MP, of course, is a big man in the constituency, not so approachable. Some MPs are not. But corporators are the first ones. And for the last 3 years, 4 years, Mumbai have not had corporators. That has been the major grouse of the people, that where do they go if they want a matter to be resolved in their area and their street, in front of their house. Whom do they go to? And I think the exit poll numbers, more exit polls, we should wait. I think this is just the first one. But that has also been the general sense on the ground, that the BJP will easily be the single largest party close to the majority mark. That has been, the political analysts have been telling me here. What they feel is the number which is going to be very interesting, that's going to be the UBT plus MNS number. If the UBT and the MNS are able to prove to be a strong opposition with 70, 80 seats maybe, then that alliance has some longevity. This alliance could get strengthened because the Thakres could see maybe this is the recipe for success, and they should maybe continue as an alliance ahead till the 2029 assembly elections as well. But if the Thakres and the MNS fall below 50 seats, or if they don't even get 60 seats, then I think this alliance will come under a lot of question marks. Was it just an opportunistic alliance to whip up emotions amongst the Marathi people? They did not speak much about development, while the BJP has been speaking about the development activities in Mumbai, be it the coastal road, be it the Atal Setu, the Mumbai metro, or air-conditioned local trains that they are promising. So I think BJP has spoken more about this, as I was earlier mentioning, this ease of living for a Mumbaikar. I think that may be touching the chord of the people, that, you have a chief minister in Devendra Fadnavis, you have a deputy chief minister in Eknath Shinde. Why should we go for the Thakres now in the BMC? Will they always be on a collision course and work will not get done? That is also something that I heard from a couple of morning walkers today at Marine Drive. So I think this is very clear, and people are very intelligent voters. The only 50% odd may vote in this election, but I think people will cast their vote for a leader who they think, and a corporator who they think can get their work done, and in more sense, it seems to be the BJP for them.
Yes. Savio is back with us. Savio, 138 for the BJP combined. But look at the numbers for the others. The others here, mind you, include the Ajit Pawar faction. They include AI, MIM. So not like complete unknowns. Not that, yes, NCP hasn't played a big role in Mumbai BMC elections in the past, but, they are there fighting solo. Just 7 for the others, 138 for the BJP. This would be seen almost as a national, stamp of approval for the BJP's model, as Aman was talking about.
Well, Shivani, I think BJP will do much more than 138. I think that I will see them around 145, 146 is my reading into the situation. I also believe that the Thackeray brothers together will be less than 50. That's how I'm
Why is
seeing their
that?
performance. Well, I can only tell you my travels to Mumbai and my interaction with a lot of people out there. I sense that a lot of people are looking at BJP differently. They're looking at the Eknath Shinde faction differently. They are looking at change in Mumbai. They don't think that the Thackeray brothers can bring the change. And that is one of the reasons why I think they will do less than 50. The development model that the BJP is taking forward is what is going to drive the success of the BJP in the BMC election.
No, but if you have to
There
look
is,
at these
yes,
numbers, is this a thumbs down to that entire Marathi, sentiment? Can we look at it like
No,
that? Can
it's
we
not.
look at
No,
it as
no,
the
no, it's
fact that the Mumbaikas are moving on to a very parochial rhetoric or a regionalistic rhetoric?
Not really, Shivani, because please let's understand one thing. The Thackeray brothers are not the custodians of the Marathi Manus. The Marathi Manus custodians are people who work in the interest of the people of Mumbai and Maharashtra. That's the fact. So they are going to vote for people who are going to go work about development, deal with the issues of floods, deal with the issues of solutions that corporators can bring to them. And that is the level of confidence that the Mumbaikar is going to look at. The Mumbaikar doesn't necessarily care whether the Thackerays espouse Marathi Manus. What they are looking at is, have they really worked for the Marathi Manus? And that's going to be the deciding factor. And I think that's why I say that BJP will do between 144 to 146, could actually touch 148.
All right. But given these first set of exit poll numbers, we talked about why these elections matter nationally. If we were to look at these set of numbers, then these are the major takeaways as far as these numbers suggest. One, that there aren't that many takers for the whole Marathi versus outsider pitch. Yes, Marathi pride matters, of course, regional pride matters, language pride matters everywhere, but it is not so much seen as antagonistic to what is outsiders, quote unquote, or an international image that is talked about. Remember, Annamalai's comment was made into a big deal by the Sena UBT and MNS because all he said was that Mumbai is not just about Maharashtra, it's about an international city. But that was played up. BJP's organizational might continuing to deliver as far as the BMC is concerned, and that cannot be discounted. Even their opposition now knows to fight against the BJP is a tall ask, not for any other reasons, but for the fact that they've got greater ground organization. Matoshri's dominance in civic body, all set to end, at least that's as far as these numbers are concerned, because they have ruled the BMC as the top party for decades, right? But in the last civic elections in BMC in 2017, BJP and Shiv Sena were virtually neck to neck. After the split, it seems that Matoshri dominance in BMC will end. Shiv Sena Shinde could now obviously suggest that they are the real, carry forward torch bearers of that Balasaheb Thackeray legacy. So the Thackeray brothers reunion not having much of an impact. This could have ramifications of what happens in Maharashtra politics. Further to go, Raj Thackeray has already shifted some of his allegiances quite a bit. Sometimes he's seen supporting the BJP, sometimes not so much. Could there be another flip in store? We don't know. Results will make it clear. But certainly, as far as these takeaways are concerned, this is all win for the BJP. What we've also seen today, Akhil Swami, is that already there have been certain complaints being raised. There have been issues being raised. Do you see that with these kind of results, if they were to come true tomorrow, that we'll see the same raga of EVMs, voter manipulation, ink issue, etc., etc.? Has the opposition already conceded defeat in some ways because they were raising all of these issues today?
So the basic point is, in last 15 days, BJP has discredited itself so much. See, in Bangladesh, Hindus are being killed. China is claiming our land. Nepal is claiming our land. So I think, and somebody was talking about as to Shiv Sena has left its Hindutva ideology and we want tiger instinct. We don't need tiger instinct within the country. We have to unite the country, and 142 crore people we have to unite. We have to, the killer instinct is required with Bangladesh. Killer instinct is required with China.
In Maharashtra and Mumbai? Was MNS uniting
because
people?
The people of Mumbai are so intelligent. They are observing everything which is happening around the world. India is totally isolated because this discredited government led by Mr. Modi has led to us in this situation. All our neighbors are enemies. All over the world we have enemies.
You really
we have
think
the highest
public
tariff
in
in the world.
Maharashtra, Abhijit Majumdar is voting on whether, there are issues with Bangladesh and
This is my
America
feeling.
and China right now.
This is my feeling.
They've got so many issues on the ground. They're not going to vote for those issues even if there is a
you
national
don't know. I
stand
also
on these
don't
elections.
know. I don't know. Why you don't know? But the point is, they should be intelligent enough to understand
But why should
as
they
to how
vote
the
on those
country has
issues
been
in these
isolated
elections,
totally.
Akhil Swami? Why should they vote on those issues in these elections?
Why not? Because the country is
the
discredited.
Congress complains that every
we are
election
under
is
threat
made
from
about
outside,
Modi.
we are under threat from inside.
The Congress
So,
complains
should
that
not
all
be very
elections
concerned
are
about it?
made about the BJP and Narendra Modi at the center, whether it's a state election or a municipal election. But you only are arguing for the fact that they should judge Narendra Modi for the BMC elections.
Yes, because the country is discredited. We are from threat from outside. We are under threat from inside.
Okay,
The country is totally divided on religious grounds.
Abhijit Majumdar, this is a test of Modi, and if it is a test of Modi, I don't know which way the opposition will sing tomorrow, because the numbers certainly are in BJP's favor.
No, it is not.
No, I disagree with him. BJP certainly has the edge. I mean, election after election, it has proved that. And how much of Bangladesh relations or China relations or Pakistan relations will affect this election, I doubt. I have my, I don't agree with that. Now, I'll just quickly touch upon the whole thing of, where the Thackeray brothers, it seems, have lost the plot, is that they have not brought anything, even after getting together. They haven't been able to reimagine their politics. It's the same thing about, outsider, isko bhagao, usko pito. Beyond that, we don't see that they have, they have not moved. Whereas BJP and Shiv Sena are talking about, giving women training in AI. There's that AI may be a catchword and they might be latching on. But even on the face of it, the manifestos, the focus of the campaign seems to be, positive, forward-looking. Whereas we see, in the case of the Thackeray brothers, they're still trying to get Indians out of bona fide Indian, hardworking, honest Indian taxpayers, Indian citizens out of Mumbai.
I don't know.
Whereas not a
How much does that rhetoric work anymore?
And they have not brought up the Bangladesh this issue at all.
I don't know where that is coming from. That is wishful thinking, because nobody on the ground is going to vote on that.
They have not brought up the Bangladesh infiltrator issue, the illegal Bangladeshi.
Or the persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh.
Sheikh Hasina
which should
is
be
the
their
infiltrator.
issue, isn't it?
Sheikh Hasina is in India.
Sir,
I don't know why that matters. Let's focus our
attention.
attention. One second. Let's just focus our
She has been declared
attention intelligently on the BMC
convict by
elections.
the
Akhil
Supreme
Swami,
Court of Bangladesh.
let's not divert the issue. There are issues on ground. Let's focus intelligently on those issues. I don't want to needlessly talk about Bangladesh and Sheikh Hasina in the country right now. Please, let's not do that. But I want to go across to Shweta Shalini, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us, and Devashish Mark is youth leader of the MNS, also with us. Shweta Shalini, the first set of numbers with us. It is showing a pretty big lead for the BJP Shinde combined, a vote share of 44% and seats up to 140. Your first response, are these numbers accurate according to you?
Absolutely, they are bang on. We are expecting these numbers because we know for sure that the Mumbaikars do not want to have namaz in Shivaji Park, and irrespective of everything else, the numbers and the Mumbaikars have been showing this to us for a very long time. I've been here listening to all the people talk on your panel. I want to just remind you of some statistics. In 2024, in the Lok Sabha, when Maharashtra and the BJP Sena UT fared extremely bad, yet at that point of time where we got only 2 seats out of 6, we had still got about 2 lakh extra votes than the Ubata and the Congress combined. So remember this, in the Vidhan Sabha, nearly 5 of my MLAs had they won with a margin which was more than 50% of the vote from the other competitors. If you actually look at it, the UT at that point of time got almost about 7 lakh extra votes than UBT and Congress. And today, the fact is, our mandate is very clear. We are looking for a Viksit Bharat, we are looking for a Viksit Maharashtra, and we are looking for Viksit Mumbai. And we have it up our sleeves, we have it on the cards. Mumbaikars have seen the change happening, whether it is metro line, whether it is the coastal road, whether it is the new Mumbai airport. They are seeing the change, they believe the change, and this is a vote for development. This is a vote for development.
How do you look at these numbers? 59 for the Thackeray brothers plus the NCP SP combined.
I won't buy that, Shivani ji. And I'm so sorry I'm late because I was just at the polling booth and there was one bogus voter, and it's just going on the entire day that the people, I'm not able to understand that this is a BMC election. And if few people are talking about the infiltrators from Bangladesh, I think BJP government in central and in state is since 2014. So what BJP government has done till date, I am not able to understand that. That is point one. Point two is now if you are talking about the BMC elections, so there are n number of people across the city where their names are there online. The names are showing displayed online.
But they're not finding their names when they go to the booth.
Exactly. And one more point. Now if we see that the coastal road are being developed and all, the BJP spokesperson, respected madam, is saying that it's fine. But then in 1998, the BMC, the Brihanmumbai Municipal Corporation, was in a deficit of 600 crores. And after 22, it was surplus of above 92,000 crores. So because there were funds raised by the Thackeray government, raised by the Shiv Sena, that's how the BJP...
But would you get credit of raising funds or would you get credit of delivery? Because, you know, this is an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because the Shiv Sena has had a legacy, the uninvited Shiv Sena has had the legacy in BMC.
Yeah.
If you're claiming that you are the heir of that legacy, the anti-incumbency of what you did or did not manage to do when you had the BMC in your control will also fall on your doorstep. Then you have to answer why till 2017 there were so many issues. Yes, elections were delayed, but then so many issues in Mumbai cannot be just a product of the last 4 years when it was under the state administration, right? BMC has to take the flak for that.
So Shivani ji, it was delayed for 3 years.
Yes.
And there was an administrator sitting and all.
What about till 2020, for example? What about till 2020? It's not like Mumbai was not having any issues till then.
So Shivani ji, COVID was also there for 2.5 years, probably 2 years. And then the World Health Organization had recognized the Dharavi model, where Uddhavji Thackeray was the CM of the state. So we have getting recognition from the WHO, which is not a governmental organization.
Okay, Shalini, respond to that.
See, Shivani ji, you should be very clear. The moment a panelist starts talking about bogus voting, EVM, this, that, and all that, that means he completely agrees to the numbers and that they are facing loss. Second, my dear friend has forgotten that for years together, BJP was in power with Shiv Sena. And if you go back and check with the Mumbaikars, people remember the work that Nitin Gadkari ji has done more in Mumbai than anything else. What people expected from the Thackeray family was per se that they would look at a development model that Mumbaikars really
No, but Shalini, you cannot brush under you cannot brush under the carpet the very many cases.
Let me finish this. If you actually look at Anil Parabji's column today morning in Hindustan Times, you will see what they have given to the Mumbaikars. They are saying that we are looking at Marathi Manu plus Muslim vote, and that's how we are going to come back to power. So this is exactly what Mumbaikars did not need. What they wanted was a transparency. What they were expecting was audit. What they were expecting was delivery on promises.
No, but
that,
tell me one thing. You cannot brush
So the
under the
Mumbaikars
carpet
also
the
don't
many
want
issues
issues
that
like
voters
Kabutarkhana
have
and,
faced
feeding
on
the
ground
kabutar,
today, where
feeding the
many of
pigeons.
them who have voted just 12 months ago in 2024 or 14 months ago in 2024 are not finding their names this time around for the BMC elections. Many Mumbaikars have missed out on voting today.
Exactly.
No, we agree. Shivani ji, I completely agree. And in fact, we are strongly going to take this up with Election Commission also. And that's one of the reasons why BJP has always supported SIR. And hence, we have always been saying that this is the need of the hour, because we know that false voting...
No, but this has nothing to do with SIR. These elections were not affected by SIR.
And in fact, no, so we
What is
primarily
the
say as a
correlation? What is the
party, we
link?
stand strong to say that Election Commission needs to be answerable to most of these things.
Okay,
And
I want to take a quick comment from Devashish. I've got more numbers coming in. Yes, Devashish, then Akhil.
Yeah, one more point I want to add, that the BMC is the richest, the Mahanagar Palika in Asia. I assume that BJP, Mr. Annamala had come and stated the other day. Now my point is that the pen, the marker pen which is used for the polio thing, were used for the voting thing, and it is easily being wiped off if you use the sanitizer or whatever, the spirit-based product. So is this what about to achieve in life? Like, we are trying to increase numbers of bogus voters here and there and everywhere.
No, but if there are people who are removing their ink mark and trying to vote again, you can't claim that only one side will benefit from that. Your voters could also do it. In any case, Election Commission has said that only ink doesn't determine whether you can vote or not. Your voter ID card and your number is ticked.
There were no FIRs registered in spite of we going to the election officers.
Okay, I've got some more numbers coming in. I've got Access My India, vote share coming in. This one is also giving a massive lead, a 10-point lead to the BJP combined. 42% for the BJP, Shiv Sena, and 32% for the Thackeray brothers. Numbers very similar to the earlier poll we brought, but the Congress numbers are lower in this one, 13%, and the others are slightly higher, from 7 in the previous exit poll to 13 in this one. So Congress could suffer even more as far as Access My India numbers are concerned. The BJP, Abhijit, maintaining another 10-point lead in yet another exit poll. This again would indicate a sweep.
Yes, this is the second set of figures we are getting, and if it is veering on the margin of 42 to 44% in the exit polls, it does indicate a robust win for the BJP. But again, Shivani, we have seen exit polls go wrong terribly.
Yes.
So
and in these
every
elections,
time
we
there
don't
has
have a
to be
template to
rider.
Judge because alliances have changed. Yes, Akhil Swami, in this exit poll by Access My India, the Congress vote share is even down. It was at least 20% in the previous one, or close to that. It's only 12% in this. The Congress going solo, was that a terrible, terrible decision on their part?
Shivani, I'm a teacher. I'm amused and liked your comment that if the Election Commission has given the opportunity of rigging by BJP, why doesn't the opposition also rig the election?
No, I didn't say
so
that.
I do not know. So if this is the logic of BJP, if this is the logic of BJP, we are rigging the election, you can also rig the election. See, the election total administration is with BJP, the police is with BJP, ED, CBI is with BJP, and today you see in Jharkhand as to what Hemant Soren has done to ED, as to what Mamata Banerjee is, you are dividing the country from within. Mark my words. You are winning elections, you are dividing the country, and the country we are trying to save from the clutches of this incompetent government, which government cannot save us from the outside threats, and dividing the country from within.
Okay.
And the BJP spokesperson has the courage to say, हम उन्हें नमाज नहीं पढ़ने देंगे. अरे वो हमें पूरे विश्व के अंदर हमें पूजा नहीं करने देंगे. 5 करोड़ हिंदू रहते हैं पूरे विश्व के अंदर. आप लोग हिंदू विरोधी
नहीं करने
हैं,
देगा?
सनातन विरोधी है बीजेपी वाले।
नहीं, कौन नहीं करने देगा विश्व में पूजा?
अरे जो आप उन्हें नमाज नहीं पढ़ने देंगे वो आपको पूजा नहीं करने देंगे।
कहीं पे भी नमाज पढ़ेंगे वो।
अरे कहीं भी क्या, हम भी कहीं पूजा करते हैं यार।
नहीं,
हम जहाँ
बिल्कुल
चाहते हैं हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ते हैं,
नहीं, आप
हम मस्जिद के सामने पढ़ते हैं।
आप कह रहे हैं
हम तो
कि
मस्जिद के सामने पढ़ते हैं।
मस्जिद के सामने का थोड़ी ना ये।
अरे बजरंग दल वाले पढ़ते हैं।
क्यों नहीं पढ़ेंगे? भारत है।
अरे भारत में तो अमेरिका में आप क्रिश्चियन को परेशान करेंगे। आप क्रिश्चियन को
let's not divert from the issue that we're actually discussing today. Can I request both of you to please just hold on? Shalini, please respond one to.
I'm a real
All right,
Hindu.
they have got the seat numbers for Access My India as well. 141 expected on expected lines because the vote share is 42% in this case. And as far as the numbers for the Shiv Sena UBT and MNS is concerned, it's 63. So this one, they're crossing the 60 mark. Only 14 for the Congress, 9 for the others in this case. So Congress and others seemingly very marginal as far as these elections are concerned. They're not really having a big impact. They're not really being able to keep the BJP from a clear majority. 141 BJP and Shiv Sena, and of course they're fighting with the other smaller parties as well. Yes, Shalini. Your comment on these numbers, Access My India numbers, but of course also what Akhil Swami is saying, that this whole polarization that the BJP is creating in Maharashtra about namaz or aarti or bhajan or this and that.
तो अखिल जी का दर्द तो सामने आ ही गया है शिवानी जी. सो इट्स वेरी वेरी क्लियर. अखिल जी स्टार्टेड विद द फैक्ट दैट आई एम अ टीचर. आई एम completely against. Please take that back because
I'm a Shuddha Sanatani, not Farji Sanatani.
You put in words to in Shivani's mouth and then you put in words to my mouth saying that and said that I said that we are rigging the elections. Of course not. We don't want to. I gave you statistics and numbers that
you said Shivaji Park. I'm sorry, Shalini. You said Shivaji Park mein namaz nahi padne denge.
Since a long time.
Shalini.
No, I didn't say that, Shivani.
Let's not talk over each other.
कैप क्यों नहीं लगाने देंगे?
Sir, let's not talk over each other. Shalini, explain that.
ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का भी स्मारक है शिवाजी पार्क पे.
अगर उद्धव जी का बस चले तो शिवाजी पार्क में नमाज पढ़ने देंगे. This is exactly what I said. I stand to it. I am a Sanatani and not a Farzi Sanatani like a I don't have to add a Swami inside in my name to prove that.
महाभारत रामायण को कहानी किससे बताने वाले फर्जी सनातनी होते हैं. आज मोदी जी ने कहा है रामायण और महाभारत.
The second set of numbers are concerned. Devashish and I, please. Akhilji, you will have to cooperate with me, please. Speak when I'm coming to you. Devashish.
जी शिवानी.
No, one second. A second poll, Access by India poll, also showing virtually the same trend. Now, when there are multiple exit polls that come out, you have to look at the trend that each poll is suggesting. The trend is clearly the same, that the BJP combined is the clear winner. They're racing ahead, beyond the majority mark and much ahead from the other combined. Devashish.
Yeah, so that's okay. That's just a poll. We'll see tomorrow how it proceeds further. My only point is कि the BJP spokesperson right now said that Shivaji Park पे हम नमाज उद्धव जी अगर बनेंगे, if he'll be in power like BMC में, so शिवाजी पार्क में नमाज पढ़ेंगे. बट कभी बोला उन्होंने ये? I just want to know कि उन्होंने बोला कभी है. और उन्होंने ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि शिवाजी पार्क पे हिंदू हृदय सम्राट बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का भी स्मारक है और शिवाजी पार्क में उसके सामने ही राज साहब ठाकरे जी भी रहते हैं. So ये सब, these are all fake narratives which are being created years and years.
But can I ask you? I think the fundamental question, Devashish, is of course you're from the from the NCP SP, but the fundamental question facing the from the MNS, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
The fundamental question facing the UBT and the MNS now both is about how true they have been to their ideology. Uddhav faces that question because he aligned with the Congress and the NCP, broke away from the BJP. It's not about breaking away from the BJP, but combining from, to what were your polar opposites in politics. And then Raj Thackeray has also been playing footsie with the BJP in recent years when he was still estranged with Uddhav. So
Shivani,
ideology clearly doesn't matter for your partnership either, right?
So Shivani, my only question is, when Fadnavis ji in like past a decade, if he's saying that we will not sit with the NCP, never, 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 नहीं, 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 और अभी उनके साथ ही बैठ रहे हैं, अजीत दादा के साथ में ही बैठ रहे हैं, जिनके ऊपर मोदी जी आके 70,000 कोटी का उन्होंने घोटाला किया, ये सब बोला गया था. उसके बाद में there is one place, अकोट नगर पालिका, आप वहां पे जाके MIM के साथ में आप गठबंधन कर रहे हैं एंड देन यू आर स्टैंडिंग फॉर द इलेक्शंस।
वहां तो कांग्रेस ने भी कर लिया।
कांग्रेस तो ठीक है ना, कांग्रेस का तो सेक्युलर आइडियोलॉजी है ही।
Okay. I have one more set of numbers that has come to us. Let's keep this quick. And Sakal exit poll has also come in. There also the trends are virtually the same. The BJP is 119 along with the Shiv Sena. Remember, the halfway mark is 114. So clearly in comfortable position. 75 though, this time for the Thackeray brothers, 20 for the Congress and 14 for others. So yes, these numbers are slightly lower than the other two exit polls, but the trend is very much clear that the BJP and Shiv Sena are in pole position. We'll continue to get you more numbers. Stay with us. The poll of polls clearly indicating the BJP is number one, and that would mean they would get an opportunity to set up what they call is a triple engine sarkar. Triple engine sarkar would also mean triple the expectations. But there are more numbers that are set to come. Of course, counting is tomorrow. We'll stay with us. Our continuous coverage is ongoing.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Sanjay Kumar, I want to understand from you, we don't really have a template as far as these BMC elections are concerned. Would that be fair to say? Equations have changed so much. There is no way to predict these elections. Is this a psephologist's nightmare?
Yes, it is a psephologist's nightmare. Why? First, if you look at the alliances, so all parties are against each other and all parties are in alliance with each other. So it becomes very difficult how the votes of support base of one party will get shifted to the other, or how it's going to contribute to the other, because two parties may be in alliance in one municipal corporation, but in other place, in another district, they may be fighting against each other. So it creates a confusion among the workers, it creates a confusion among the voters. So will the vote get transferred? But I think the bigger nightmare would be that, the size of the constituencies are very small, much smaller than the assembly constituency, and assembly constituency is much smaller compared to the Lok Sabha. So the margin of victory and defeat are very small, and sometimes you might get the vote share right, but since the seats, maybe a large number of seats may be decided by small margins, you may get it off, you may be off the mark when it comes to seats. It is happening quite often these days in the Lok Sabha election. It happened in 2024 Lok Sabha election. It also happened in large number of state assembly election which we have witnessed in the last couple of years. So that's why BMC election or the municipal election are much more tricky to predict compared to an assembly election.
Right. In fact, let me go to the ground in Mumbai. My colleague Aman is also joining us from there. Aman, which way is the sea breeze flowing this evening in Mumbai?
Well, see, Shivani, it is very difficult to predict an election, and I won't hazard a guess till the results come out tomorrow. But if I tell you what are the issues on the ground and which are the big factors in this election, the number one factor, I think, is the Thackeray brothers uniting. Whoever I've spoken to in Mumbai, people, especially in the constituencies where the Marathi community is in larger numbers, even in South Mumbai, people do have this emotive and people do have a connection. People speak fondly and this nostalgia about the Thackeray brothers coming together. It's also a last throw of the dice by the Thackeray brothers in a sense that they have faced serious reverses in the 1.5 years back when we had the assembly elections here. So they need to perform here. Can they win the election? I am not too sure. But if they perform well and be a strong opposition with about 70 to 80 seats in the 227-member BMC, that could be a strong comeback by the Thackerays. Will it happen? We'll have to wait till tomorrow. I think the number two issue is the Marathi Manus issue. In the last election, we have seen that in fact the majority of Marathi Manus had voted for the NDA, and that is why Eknath Shinde emerged as this big hero. Devendra Fadnavis called himself the son of the soil, and that is why you saw the big voting for the Mahayuti in the assembly election. But this time, the things are different because the two Thackeray brothers are together. They are appealing to the Marathi Manus to unite and saying, "Ek hai to safe hai." They are hoping that the Marathi Manus shifts course towards them. Will it happen? In what proportion it will happen? maybe that will determine the election. Shivani, there are 87 seats here in Mumbai where the MNS UBT together is fighting against the Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde. Who wins those 87 seats, I think, is the make or break thing in this election, because that will also prove who really has the control over the Marathi vote. That all said, Shivani, I think the people on the ground are more bothered about the civic issues. They complain, as you were saying, about potholed roads, traffic jams. Ease of living is a big issue. People want to get from their home to their office in the shortest possible time, not spend 2 hours, 3 hours daily in traffic or in congested local trains. They want parties to solve these issues. But sadly, I feel no party is coming forward to speak about the ease of a living of a common Mumbaikar in these BMC elections. Mr. Fadnavis has spoken about, the infrastructure that has come, but I think people are looking for more. And because people are not being promised this ease of living in no uncertain terms, I think that explains also the voter apathy. Till 3:30 p.m., only 41% Mumbaikars have voted in these all-important high-stakes BMC elections.
Yes, and we're waiting for those updated numbers, because the last 6 elections from 1992 onwards, only in 2017, the last election, did the voting percentage cross 50%. Otherwise, for the previous 5 elections, it was below 50. But we're waiting for those updated numbers. Abhijit Majumdar is also with us. Abhijit, the interesting question here is, with so much that has changed in the Maharashtrian political landscape, if you look at these elections, not just in BMC, but the other, 20-odd municipal elections in Maharashtra, one thing is emerging, that the biggest rival or the prime rival or the pole is BJP now. All alliances are centering around either defeating the BJP or coming together with the BJP.
Right. It has very clearly established itself as the #1 party in Maharashtra, especially after that spectacular assembly results. There's very little doubt that BJP calls the shots. But Mumbai, as Aman just said before me, right now, it will be very interesting to see how the Thackeray brothers coming together, how that will pan out. And, MVA will have the Muslim vote, remember. So, is it going to be a MM vote that sort of gives MVA an edge?
But there is an AIMIM also fighting, not on the many seats, but in the Muslim dominant
also
seats.
Congress is fighting.
Congress is fighting alone. They are actually fighting for the same Muslim or the minority vote.
Also, yes. So in multi-cornered contest, anybody could win. So they, we can't say that there is advantage so and so. But and also, even though the two brothers have united, both of them have come so far away from the ideology of the OG Thackeray, of Bal Thackeray, and Bal Thackeray is missing from the posters. He is, his ideology is not being pushed by MVA. And the two brothers, even
well,
the two
they've tried. One would say they've tried, but maybe too belatedly. Savio, would it be too late?
Namaste, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsuman, and we begin with the latest on the poll of polls. And it looks like history is going to be written, viewers. Perhaps for the first time in more than 2.5 decades, the Thackerays are no longer going to be Mumbai's kings. It's the voters seems to have decided, based on the exit polls and poll of polls, that the plus 50% voter turnout has yielded and voted entirely in favor of the Mahayuti, the combination of Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde. That Mahayuti seems to be coasting its way through the Mumbai polls. So ballot maximum city is in favor of, well, the Mahayuti. Mumbai has decided, maximum city has decided, and the remaining 28 Mahanagar Palikas, the Mahayuti, the combined, aims to do well. Thane seems to be the gad where Eknath Shinde will permanently stamp his authority over the Shiv Sena, and perhaps the Thackerays will be marginalized. The coming together of the two warring brothers also doesn't seem to have helped the case of Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. That's what the indications are as of now, even as a host of celebrities came out to cast their ballot. Let's quickly do the poll of polls and see what are the exit pollsters saying. Let's have a quick look at that. So the JVC exit poll, the BJP has a vote share of 44%. Look at those numbers, 44%. And SS Shiv Sena UBT 35%, Congress 14%. So again, the larger vote share, and of course, if it's going one way, it will go all the way. The halfway number is the overall strength of the house is 227. The halfway number is about 114, and it looks like the BJP seems to be very, very comfortably par that number. Now, the JVC exit poll share based on the vote share, seat share, 138 seats for the BJP. Shiv Sena UBT, that is Uddhav Thackeray's team, is 59, so less than 60 seats.